Greetings and welcome, gnomes and nomads. Welcome back to Gnomoria, and specifically to Spider Slaughter. Now, once this is loaded up, the astute among you will immediately, and I no doubt many of you have already noticed this, it is the 12th day of spring. When you last were here, it was the 2nd day of spring, and we had just bid farewell to a staggeringly large number of gnomes. In the night between the 1st and 2nd of spring, the first official night of spring, a terrible and bloody battle occurred as a result of trying to get nomads in. Well, more or less. Nevertheless, it cost the lives of not just many gnomes, but some of the most, well, trying to think of the way to put it that's not going to make everyone else feel bad. It's not the million fallen incompetent LP with the only real soldiers that mattered, certainly not, but they were extremely powerful combatants. If this were XCOM, this would be the point where I'd be saying, yep, it's all over. The fight for humanity's survival has ended in failure. But this is Gnomoria, and one lost battle, even if it costs the lives of our most well-trained soldiers, does not spell the end of the game yet. We might not be far off, but we've still got a little bit of room to wiggle around. Now, you will note that I have gone ahead and let quite a bit of time pass as I put things in order. We had, on the 2nd day of spring, 17 gnomes. We now have 16. Unfortunately, Dino 959, or was it 959? I forget. There were a strange number of numbers. Dino 9599, the second, perished. Having lost legs and a hand, they were simply unable to get to drink, get to food when they needed it, and they eventually starved to death. Unfortunately, these sorts of things happen. Fox lost a hand in the scuffle, and as a result, it's now a dedicated cog mind. That means they will be doing tinkering, and they will be doing some doctoring, but that's pretty much it. The remaining 15 gnomes have been basically put into a true militia. This is something that the latest update to Gnomoria has allowed, in that you don't need a squad with a specific perk to be militiamen. Instead, any soldier who isn't actively on duty will perform their civilian duties. And that is exactly what we have happening right now. We have 3 military units. The only person not in a military unit are our cog mines, and that only includes Fox the second at the moment. Now, the fortified seals has been taken over by Dinu, who is now a foodsmith. This is another thing that I've done, is I've gone through every gnome we have, and I have given them a role based on their best skills, the best spread of skills for the various roles that were available. That does mean that some of you who've specifically requested a certain role have now been moved out. Some of you haven't, but most of you have been basically put where your gnome will do the most work, or the most good for the fort, I should say. But other than that, everyone is now in a formation, is in a squad. Dinu is now the captain of Fortified Seals, along with Strider, a lieutenant. You pair have inherited the grand tradition of the Fortified Seals. This is a great honor. It is a extremely large task, and you have incredibly big boots to fill. I don't envy you, but I hope you bear this duty with pride. And along to help you are Jack D, 23, Commie Cat, and Trashybagles. Now, the way we're going to be doing the military is I'm going to aim to only have one military squad training or performing something like patrol at a time. The others will be off duty. Now, the reason for that is that if you're on duty, they're not going to be doing their work, and obviously if I've got 2 squads, that's 10 gnomes not doing civilian roles. I literally have more roles to fill than 5 gnomes could fill, the remaining 5. So it wouldn't be possible. However, all of the squads have defend gnomes, so they'll rush to the aid of each other. The only one that doesn't is silvery lurkers. Now, what I've done with the squads is I've made sure that, for example, here we have a boozesmith and a lumberjack and a foodsmith, but we have 2 people who work on wood. We have 2 people who work on booze, 2 people who work on food, 2 people who work on like mining sort of stuff. So we can afford this squad to be on duty, and we would still have a chef. We would still have someone making drinks. We would still have someone to chop down trees. We would not have another engineer, at least not a full engineer like that. We've got the cog mines, but they only do tinkering. Now, Trashybagles is a gemsmith, and is the only gemsmith we have, but it's not going to be so bad when they are on duty, because we don't really have a pressing need for gems to be cut. Now, having gone over that, I'll just list who's in the other squads. We've got Dalbeth and Kazi, who've inherited the Velvet Evildoers, alongside Mr. Cadaver, Dwarf, and Mr. Dark Draker. Additionally, the Silvery Lurkers of Battle, Ornstein, of course, Toz, Snowdog. Now, I had to move Strider out because Toz was a woodsmith and Strider was a lumberjack, so we obviously needed to keep them separate. And Vatic and Breakfast Item fill out the ranks. So there we go. We have the Stylish Conquerors, but there's no one in that squad. Like I said, the Cogmines don't need a squad because they're never going to be called to any sort of active duty. That will be there mostly for filling out with Nomads. Now, I have I have very, very high hopes that we will get some decent Nomads on the 1st of summer. We have lost a lot of people. Now, our kingdom worth is still quite high. It's almost 900,000. So, 900,000 kingdom worth with only 17 gnomes in the kingdom may mean we're going to get a nice big chunk of Nomads. That's my hope. And to that end, I guess we should start thinning out whatever's outside. So, Silvery Lurkers, to battle, please. Now, I'm going to just make sure that there's no one else assigned to the other training grounds, because we do have 3 now. Let's see. Is there anyone here? No. And finally down here. No. Okay. Now, I've applied some traps here, just to prevent people from doing too much, like skeletons and golems from making too much of a mess. But because pretty much our entire population of gnomes will respond to an attack order, you know, we're in a much better position now, because if anything does jump one of our gnomes, the entire fort will try to respond to it. And wow, we've come down here. We've got malachite, and what's this? I'm not clicking on the right one, it seems. I think that might be... No, that's malachite. This is coal, and this is... I don't know what that is. The grey ore. Tin. Okay. Well, actually, that's pretty cool. Let's get another torch down here, though. How many torches have we got? We've got a pine torch. So yeah, go ahead and put a pine torch down here, please. Now, one thing I noticed, we've got different types of rock. We've got basalt there and granite here. And down in here, I imagine it's all basalt. So we're going to be able to do some nice swanky things with different coloured stone, eventually. That's not really a priority right now. Priority is mostly not dying. And as you can see, I've started to strip mine this area for more granite because we are running low. I don't want to strip mine deeper down, because the deeper we go, the more dangerous the foes we're going to face. So it would be better if we strip mine the higher levels first. And to that end, I might actually even start strip mining up here as well. Now, we have moved pretty much the entire industry of our food and bone industry away. So let's go ahead and just undesignate all of these things, because we no longer need any of them. That is all upstairs now. I've also set up all of the stockpiles, so this room can be repurposed. I'm not really sure what we're going to do with that yet, and we're also waiting to break this down, the Tinker's Bench, because we have the Tinker's Bench built up here. And eventually we'll have another 2 to go along with it. Though right now we've only got 1 cog mine, so it doesn't really... it's not really a pressing issue. As you can see, I'm also building this area out. I'm slowly replacing all of these things with actual block walls and stone floors. Bit of an odd time to decide to do this, I grant you, but I think it'll be worth doing anyway. Getting this out of the way now. We'd already started, and it's... given that the goblins don't actually have ranged weapons, it's not really something that's gonna worry our troops. And one nice thing that I've noticed about having them in the squad is they don't seem so skittish around enemies. Whereas previously, a civilian might be walking along the wall with something to go build a wall down here, and would see an ogre and would immediately drop their stuff and run for the hills, or rather run for the inside of the hills. Military gnomes don't really care too much, which is actually quite amazing. Now, the question is, where are the nomads going to pop up? I don't think we've got enough luck that we won't have goblins and or mounts here when the nomads arrive. If we do, wow. But I don't think we will. Now, 1 goblin invasion has just left, by the looks of it, unless the silvery lurkers were phenomenally effective and killed them already. I don't think they have. So, I'm thinking what we're going to probably have to do then is get someone in here to lock this up. We'll have to take one of the silvery lurk. Well, it will be anyone, I guess. Though ideally it would be someone who isn't going to respond to defend gnomes, because otherwise the nomads will see someone and they'll run straight out. I mean, it sounds a bit harsh to if like we get 10 or 20 nomads or whatever, and 1 or 2 of them get stuck, like if they decide to be all derpy and like, no, I don't want to go to the guard station. I don't want to be completely safe inside in the kingdom walls. I want to stay out here with the gnomes. They look much more interesting. If they do that, I'm just going to leave them behind. We've had enough tragedy already trying to protect stupid gnomes. No more, I say. And here you can see I'm just tiling, putting down block floors and flagstones and regular stone floors just to replace the well room and the sort of larder, I guess, with regular stone walls. So let's get those up now. I say regular, we mean block walls. Now I have the stonemason only making granite blocks right now. I don't want him to use the basalt for making blocks, otherwise, well, not without me knowing exactly where those blocks are going. So it makes it a bit easier if I just don't have that at the moment. Why is this not being taken down? Can I unsuspend that? And then this? No? Really? I would really like it if someone would just break this down. Ideally. No, don't. Don't go there. 4 Fox. I want this to be decommissioned. 4 Fox. Really? I want it to be broken. Really? You are annoying. Get out of there. Deconstruct. Someone will eventually deconstruct it, I hope. One of the problems with having so few gnomes is that pretty much everyone has got a job to do all the time. There are very few times when someone... Ooh, is that bad music? Is that... There are gnomes outside music? I must check this. But while I'm checking it, I will carry on with what I was saying. One of the problems with having so few gnomes is that everyone's always got something to do that's a higher priority than hauling. Yes, it was bad music. Damn it. Okay, well, it's better for them to be here right now, because that means they're not going to path into the fort straight away. We may just be able to pull this back. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one person pull a lever here and then that lever there. And then I'm going to try and get the nomads inside. That's all I'm going to do. I've already made a new profession for them. Let's find you. Called the Serf. And the Serfs shouldn't do anything. Why have you got this turned on? No, we'll turn that off. We're going to assign all nomads to Serfs. And then we're going to have them just do nothing. I guess once we get them in, we could put the Circe hauling back on just to try and get things in order before we actually give them proper jobs. But initially, we want them to care about nothing but following our orders and getting inside. So ideally, that'll be what they do. But you know Nomads. They very, very rarely do what we tell them to do. It is a shame. Right, so... it looks like they're staying clear of the front door. I'm happy with this. So let's speed up time a little bit. Oh, there we go. Some of the goblins have been spotted. Well, hopefully you guys can wing a couple of them. If we do need to go out there and fight, I would like it if they were deeply and horribly wounded beforehand. But I don't think we're going to be that lucky. One day we will also get torches out here and we'll actually be able to see everywhere at night time. That will be a glorious time. But not right now. It is now summer. Where are the Nomads? We did have the chance of a merchant during spring. Unfortunately, the merchant was dead immediately. Spawned right on top of a bunch of goblins and they just took him apart. There was no point in even trying to get him inside, unfortunately. Well, maybe we could get his body, turn him into a sausage, I don't know. But one thing I have noticed, though, is sausages can be used as a weapon. Someone sent me a tweet with a image where one of their gnomes beat, I think it was an ogre, or it might have just been a regular goblin, but beat them to death with a yak sausage. Hit them so hard with that yak sausage that they crushed their lung. I am quite impressed, honestly. Either that, well, that might have been a very old sausage, perhaps. I don't think it quite has the same effect, but I don't think meat goes hard when it's old. I don't know. I've never eaten a very old sausage to know. Maybe it was a frozen sausage. That would explain its kinetic force, but enough nonsense. Come on. We need to know. I'm nervous. I want to know where the Nomads are. Whether they're going to kill themselves. Because if they are... Oh, no? No, okay. It's two-headed ogre. It's not Nomads. Every time it pauses, I worry. Come on. Is there a mantle there? Please kill the man scout. Cinder fragment. Come on. It would be very... Ooh. Oh, no. Oh. Bugger it. 25 Nomads. There's very, very little I think we can do here. But I'm going to do what I can. So, I'm going to be right back when I have put all of these guys into a squad and set them up to try and beat their way through all of these goblins. See you soon. Welcome back. Now we have a bit of a dilemma. We have a bit of a decision to make. We have 25 Nomads here. They've all been set to serfs. They've all been set to squads. And not the Nomad Survival Squad either. No, this is a squad, you know, full on attack, defend gnomes. The dilemma we have is there are 25 unarmored gnomes here against a host of armed and armored goblins. We could send our 15 armed and armored gnomes out to help. They would have to fight their way past steel-clad goblins, two-headed ogres, before they could even get close to these guys. The question is, should we risk everyone in the fort in order to save these 25? They are the majority, so we can't even save the needs of the many, because technically they outweigh us. But if we go out and this fails, it will be the end of Spider Slaughter. I'm fairly certain. We couldn't, even if we managed to keep a couple of people, if it was any less than we've got right now, I think it would be very, very difficult to recover. So I'm almost tempted to say, well, good luck to you guys. And if you manage to defeat the goblins, then well done. Those who survive have gone through the trial by fire. You have proven yourselves on the field of honor, and you may now join the illustrious ranks of Spider Slaughter's hardened military, which aren't really hardened anymore. I hate myself, but I think we're going to have to do that. Good luck, and may the best gnome win. Notice the goblins are gnomes, so they really shouldn't win at all, but do your best nevertheless. No, that's running away. You're not actually fighting. What the dickens? Why are you running away? Oh no. They're cowardly gnomes. Oh man, I'm really tempted to go out and help them. Fight for your lives. No, don't run away. Fight. Stand and fight. Okay. Okay. It's clear that you are not going to stand and fight. Right, we're going to send one person in to pull this lever. Go forth, one person, whoever you are. Chop chop, do it now. Come on, there are gnomes who could survive this if you're fast. Oh, you've met a mant, you poor sod. Oh man, there's no one. No one's coming. Everyone's busy doing other jobs. You're all gonna die because no one will pull the lever for you. I'm very sorry, gnomes. Wow, look at that's terrible. That's just horrible. Are you coming to pull the lever? Have you decided to pull that lever? I think he has. You have a savior. Might be a little bit too late now, but you have one, nevertheless. Pull the lever. Come on. Have you pulled the lever yet? I don't think you have. Please pull the lever. Oh no. Trashybagles. You've condemned them to death. I see what happened there. Trashybagles thought it was a horrible, horrible plan to let these people in. So, he volunteered to pull the lever, and now he's pretending he's asleep. He's awake. We can all see his eyes twitching when we say his name. You swine. Trashybagles, you've murdered these 25 gnomes. Well, I might be partially responsible, but I guess there really isn't any way to redeem myself. I kind of left them out there. Damn you, Trashybagles, though. I was trying to help, and then you foiled my last-ditch effort to be honourable. Oh, well, you may as well pull the lever, I guess. Wow, that was really nasty of you. You're a horrible gnome. Can you hear their tortured screams, Trashybagles? I hope they haunt your actual dreams, because you're not really having dreams, you're just pretending to. But when you go to bed tonight, I hope you have horrible nightmares. Nightmares of 25 spectres hunting you down, beating you to death with mechanical doors. Oh, just beating you. I don't want you to die. We can't afford to lose the manpower, honestly. But that was... That felt horrible. Watching all of those gnomes. Oh, it's not a good day. No, not a good day to be a gnomish administrator. Well, this is what it's going to be like for a little while, I think. If we want to survive, then we need to pick our fights. And unfortunately, this fight picked us, really. And yeah, 25 gnomes, cruelly butchered, slaughtered. That wasn't a battle. That was just hideous. That was traumatic and bloody. And look at the blood; it's everywhere. There are corpses everywhere too, but there's much more blood. Wow. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to hope that none of those gnomes managed to flee. To rush back to the gnomish homeland to deliver word of our cowardice, of Trashybagles' sabotage. Alas, no gnomes. It would kind of be in our best interest right now. If we can't save any of them, then it's best that none of them manage to crawl off in a mortally wounded state to deliver news, and thus discourage future nomads from making the trip. Because we will eventually save them, even with Trashybagles' underhanded methods. We will eventually manage to get them to spawn somewhere, I'm sure, where there are no goblins or mants, and it'll all be good. Oh man, he was trying to get in. My heart bleeds for you. He could see his salvation just down there. You could have only jumped, but he only had 1 foot. He couldn't jump. He would have hopped and he would have missed. He knew. He knew it would be death in the... Oh, man, that... What was your name? Titanan. Titanan? Wow, that was a horrible name. I think dying was honestly a mercy. But some of you had awesome names. Oh, man, I bet... Yeah, if we check out our kingdom right now, we're going to have a load of deceased... 117 deceased gnomes. That's disgraceful. What are you doing, Spider Slaughter? Oh, look at all these people. Billy died. Oh, wow. Your name looked kind of amazing for a moment until I thought about trying to pronounce it. And then I thought better of it, honestly. Thwest. I'm sure another Wobble. No way. Wobble came back and we left him out there to die. I don't even know what I'm... Wow. There are no words for the dishonor that we have heaped upon ourselves. That Trashybagles has brought upon the good name of Spider Slaughter. I hope you're happy with yourself, Trashybagles. You may have saved your own life and the lives of 15 of your fellow gnomes, but you have cost the lives of 25. Wow. I guess it was probably, if I'm honest, the right thing to do. But it was not the honorable thing to do. It was just the right thing to do. We could have died with honor, and you have robbed us of that. Now we're going to have to live on. We're going to have to limp on, more to the point. But there's always next season. There's always autumn. But there's also the 5th day of summer. If we could get... that's the thing. If we can get a merchant in here, we could sell the vast majority of the things that we own that are giving our kingdom worth right now. And that would be fantastic for us. Oh, poor Gollum. He legged it. I bet he was another unhappy Gollum as well. Is that Alpaca Dine? Oh, too late. You've been spotted. Who spotted you? Jack D. You heartless bugger. Let's check him out. Is the dirt Gollum unhappy? Yep. He's upset. Oh, man. I guess Jack D just needed to take out his frustration at having witnessed the death of 25 of his kinsmen. I can appreciate that. There we go. Right, I best take the Silvery Lurkers off patrol. You guys can stand down and actually start doing work again. And sleeping and doing other things. There are many... Oh, wow. Who's that? What? Oh, right. It's a goblin corpse from the battle before. The battle before. That's not a good name. We need a good name. What? It was in the night... No, we're not going to call it... We've already got a battle stats from that. We'll call it the Battle of... The Battle of Heroes Fall. That's right. Forevermore will the first night of spring mark the anniversary of the Battle of Heroes Fall. Where... Well, heroes fell, basically. It's pretty much a self-explanatory name. Exactly what it suggests happened on that night. A lot of heroes died. And true heroes as well, not just heroes in name. Heroes who had done amazing things. They weren't just given the title posthumously out of guilt or you know, a want to kind of big them up now that they were dead. No. Millionfowl, Watery Pillow, Sarrow. I mean, I'm including them in the same battle, even though it kind of happened a little bit earlier on. But Incompetent LP, so many fantastic warriors who had done so much for Spider Slaughter all died in that same day. Or rather, same couple of days. Maybe if Watery Pillow and Sarah had been alive, it would have gone differently. I doubt it, though. If there was enough goblins there to take down Millionfowl, I don't think it would have changed anything. Mistakes were made. We should have conscripted the civilians into the battle much sooner. And we will remember this. From now on, new nomads will be in the military. We will continue with this militia idea, even once we have enough nomads, enough gnomes to operate the way we used to, with a dedicated standing army. But that is all for this episode. We have seen the cruel slaughter of 25 innocents, and I don't think it's going to be the last time we see a load of our gnomes, or rather, potential our gnomes, dying. I think we really need some luck to be able to pull ourselves out of this one, at least anytime soon. With a little bit of time and patience, our gnomes will actually get very good at fighting, I imagine. Or we'll just get a time when the Mants and the Goblins have wiped themselves out, a rare window of opportunity. But other than that, I think it all comes down to where on the map the Nomads decide they want to enter from. This time they decided they want to enter, or decided they wanted to enter, around a bunch of goblins. And the merchant did exactly the same over here. It seems that this part of the map, not very good to enter from. They should really come in on this side. Perhaps we should send a message to the Gnomish homelands by carrier pigeon. I think that would be a remarkably good idea. Not sure if they'll get it or not. I don't really know. They might think it's a gift and eat it or something. But hopefully they'll get the message. But we'll see in the next episode whether it gets there in time to alert the merchant to our cunning plan. Hopefully it will allow us to rid ourselves of the vast majority of this kingdom worth. If not, yeah, probably more nomad slaughter in the immediate future for us. But until then, and as always, do take care.